Welcome back to Mr. Lamb's Science Corner. We have today going on the third and maybe you'll say thankfully last way of looking at the total eclipse of the sun. And this one is, quite frankly, my favorite, and it is the easiest. It does require a purchase, however, and that is you need to buy some eclipse glasses. I got these from a planetarium, and let's see, somewhere is, oh yes, somewhere on here should be a deal to tell you that what qualification it meets. If it doesn't say meets the requirement for ISO, and let me write this down here so you can get this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 dash 2, and the year that it was made was 2015. If this is too long ago, it may not be the best for you. But ISO, International Standard something or other, 12312-2. And if it doesn't say that, it's probably not a good idea. Now, you can also look if you have, let me see if I can get this here. Some people like to use welder's goggles, and that's okay. But apparently there's one little thing, and that is they have to be number 14 or better. And the caveat here is that in my reading about this, I saw that if you buy welder's goggles that are made somewhere else, a number 14 may not be the same as what they talk about number 14 here in the United States, and therefore it may not give you the full protection. But number 14 for welder's goggles is supposed to be good enough. Myself, I would go with the things that are made specifically for the things. You can now the thing that here, you just bend them up and you put them on, and you put them on when you're there, wherever you're going to have. Don't try to walk with this on your face, because the sun is 100,000 times too bright to look at. This will knock it down to where you can safely look at the full sun, and so it blocks everything else out. I mean, everything else out. You will see the sun, and that's all you will see through these things. If you can see anything else through this, you're probably asking for it. The only exception might be if you're looking at arc welding or something like that. That's probably, you might be able to get a little bit through here, but I would certainly get to where I want to be and then put them on, and not try to walk anywhere around. Or if you need to walk, take them off and then go. So one thing that I wanted to mention is that every total eclipse is a little bit different, and so what I'm going to talk about now may or may not show up. We'll find out. But there's a phenomenon called Bailey beads, and they were discovered, explained by a man named Bailey, as you might well imagine. And what they are is just before totality, just as it's going to totality, you'll see little beads of light along the side of the moon. And what it is that he explained is that the moon is not a perfect sphere. It has mountains. And so if you have mountains, you know, jagged up and jagged down, and what you're seeing is the last little bits of light from the sun going through the mountain passes. And so, as you might imagine, this is only for a couple of seconds, but you can see these things, and then at the end, you'll see the Bailey's beads, hopefully, just before the, you know, kind of a warning, hey everybody, be careful, because you're going to be looking at the sun in the totality, bare-eyed. Okay, it's okay to do that. The NASA says so, but you want to be ready to cover up just as quickly as you can. You start to see the Bailey's beads. Get your goggles ready to go. And I don't really know a lot about this, but in my reading, apparently right at the very end of Bailey's beads, sometimes you'll see something that looks like a diamond ring. And they gave a kind of an explanation for it. I encourage you to get on Google and, you know, look at the total eclipse, and it'll talk about this. And apparently there are people who travel all over the world to come see the total eclipses. They're kind of, well, we might call them what they are, total eclipse junkies. And apparently they'll be helpful, and they'll yell out, "Diamond ring!" And you go like, "Oh yeah, okay, there it is." I've never heard of it before, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. But the easiest way to see really a good thing is this, but you've got to be very careful to use this quite well, and to make sure that it is this number certified. And if this goes back a ways, apparently when they first made the eclipse glasses, and this just learned this reading Google, is that the old ones are not as strong as the new ones. So 2015 would be good protection. If it says like 1988 or something like that, you probably want to get a new pair. They're not very expensive. We went to the National Science Teachers Association convention, and they were handing them out. So we got this. Now you want to keep them in a protection, because if they get scratched, you'll probably lose your eyesight. So you want to make sure that, you know, I've got this out here like this, but if I leave it just lay, it might get scratched, and you might not realize it until you're actually observing the eclipse, and then you'll be so excited you think, well, I don't have to worry about that, and then 5 days later you're blind in at least part of your eye. So make sure that it's protected. If it doesn't come in the bag, then get a little baggie or something and take care of them. Okay, and you might want to have a couple of extra just in case. Okay? Enjoy the eclipse. I'm really looking forward to it. August 21st, and a lot of people, they're planning on 1 million people coming to Oregon. Like I said, that one town, 6,500 population, they are planning on 100,000 people showing up. Probably if you go, fill up your gas tank before you get to Madras, because there probably won't be much gas with that many people showing up. Okay? Take care, have fun, enjoy.